Real Possibilities with AARP. Why real possibilities? Because AARP believes that no one's possibilities should ever be limited as they age. Hi, I'm Elaine Warner. I'm your host for today's program. I'm on staff with the AARP Connecticut Nonprofit Office. I'm the Senior Program Specialist for Public Outreach and Volunteer Engagement. And the mission of AARP is to empower you to be able to choose how you live as you age. And of course, independence and mobility are very much part of that. I always like to think that quality and dignity are so important as we age. AARP believes that, so independence and mobility comes into mind. And therefore, today's topic, driver safety as you age. And when I was thinking about this program, I thought about the relationships that we have with our vehicles. You know, think back. Your very first driving experience, probably with a parent, certainly with an older person when you were learning to drive. How about those high school courses on driver safety at a younger age? And maybe your first car, buying your first car, maybe your first date. A car, type of car had a significance. I come from the baby boomer generation. I was thinking about, of course, the Volkswagen Bugs or the Volkswagen vans. They were often, painted in different colors, and of course the Mustang, which is still true today. I even heard that Ford is limiting some of the things that they're making as far as cars, but they are continuing with the Mustang. So a generational kind of thing, a relationship that we have with our cars. I mentioned mobility and independence. That's so important to us as we age, and it does have a relationship with our vehicles. So again, therefore, the topic of today's show, driver safety as you age. We try to bring you the experts. We have our own in-house expert with us today, the AARP Connecticut State Coordinator, Brent LaVille. Welcome, Brent.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. And we certainly appreciate your volunteerism. So let's jump right in. And, we'd love you to watch the whole program because this is not just for a certain age of person, our driver safety program. We're going to tell you about the Smart Driver course, all the new kind of gizmos and things that are happening with new cars that can affect someone at any age. We've got a great portion about news for the family and driving, so we hope you will stay with us. But Brent, I know you've been a volunteer for over a decade with AARP.
Yes, that's correct.
What brought you into the driver safety program as a volunteer?
I started in 2005, and actually it was reading the AARP magazine, and there was a little flyer in there, a postcard looking for volunteers. And I thought this would be an interesting thing to do, and for the first time, I took the in-class course, and I said, well, this is a great course, and this is information that people need to know, and if I can be a part of that, helping to get this information out to drivers, that's something I wanted to do. So I started back then, and I've been with the program since then.
So 13 years now,
Yeah,
and so
13.
we got you.
Yes, that's true.
That come on there.
Yeah. I'm here for the duration, I guess.
Yes, and so you volunteered, and then you became a presenter, and now you're the state coordinator, and
Yes.
You help organize and recruit people for our statewide program, for our
Right.
Smart Driver program,
Yes.
and there are two ways of taking that Smart Driver program. But you know what, first I do want to mention, before we get into this program, so stay with us on that. Why does AARP have a relationship with the driver safety program? And I know it's very robust across the country. How did we get involved with it?
Well, we got involved with it, or AARP got involved with it in 1979. So we've been teaching. AARP has been doing the course for a number of years.
Almost 40, right?
Almost 40 years
Yeah.
of it. Again, as you said, we are a driving culture.
Yes.
I mean, I started taking lessons when I was 15. The day after I was 16, I was at the motor vehicle department.
Do you remember the cars I mentioned?
Yes, I remember the cars that you mentioned. I could remember when a new Volkswagen Beetle cost $1,900. Okay, unreal.
Yeah.
So, but it's an important part, and as you mentioned, independence is really the driving factor for a lot of seniors. As long as they can drive and drive safely, they are independent. Even if it's just talked to a gentleman Saturday at one of our programs, an elderly gentleman. The only thing he does is a couple of times a week he goes down to the Dunkin' Donuts to meet with his friends and socialize. But that's important for a lot of people, especially for seniors to be out, socialize, and that's his independence as long as he could drive, even though his wife was willing to drive him, but it's not
No,
the
it's
same.
not your
not
own
the same.
personal.
So
independence.
AARP has done a lot of work in this area. Actually, and I just jumping ahead, the impetus behind our CARFIT program came from the American Society on Aging to say we need a program to work with seniors as they get older to make sure that they can drive as long as it's safe for them to do so. And that's the key word, is safety for everyone, not only the driver, the kids at the bus stop in the morning.
Right, your fellow drivers
drivers on the road. It's not just the person behind the wheel.
And it's not just, as you said, of a certain age, and we're going to get to the CARFIT program. We've got a nice little video to show you, so stay tuned for that. And that program also is for any age. But Brent, I was awed to hear about the number of classes and the number of people, just some numbers for the state of Connecticut, if you can present that.
Connecticut, although a small state, we average roughly 700 classes a year.
Wow.
And we'll put through 10,000 people through the class.
Wow.
So it's quite an undertaking, so we're very proud of that in Connecticut. All the members of the Connecticut AARP driver safety are volunteers. There's no paid folks, so I'm really proud of that. So we have approximately 82 instructors, certified instructors that are teaching this.
Wow.
and doing it because they want to give back to the community for whatever reason, and they have found that through the driver safety program, this is the way that they want to give back, along with, I know, other AARP organizations have volunteers that feel that that's just as important what they're doing, and it is.
Yes, and on that note, so many of our volunteers say that they really get meaning out of volunteerism with us. We have a lot of different programs today. We're focusing on driver safety as you age. But again, I'm Elaine Werner on staff with AARP Connecticut. If you're interested in volunteering with us, whether on the driver safety program or any of our programs, you can reach me directly. Would love to hear from you at 860-548-3169. Also, my email is ewerner, W-E-R-N-E-R, at aarp.org. And Brett, so let's get right into, there is an online course, but there's a in-classroom kind of course. So if you can talk about the Smart Driver course.
The in-classroom courses are our most popular, and it's been around since 1979. So it's a 4-hour course, and we use a workbook for that course. And the majority of our participants right now come from the in-house course. But the course is designed to teach and allow senior drivers, although as you said, anyone can come to the class.
Sure.
There's something to learn whether you're 16 or 116, but we're really focusing on seniors to allow them to drive as long as it's safe for them to do so they keep their independence.
Right.
So we're talking about things that basically change. In our course, we're going to talk about changes in our own body as we're getting older, which are important. Vision, hearing, reflexes, flexibility. I think we can all look back and say maybe we have some challenges there that we didn't have.
Just a fact of life, right?
A fact of life. Changes in our vehicles, which are coming just fast and furious, and how to integrate those changes so they become a help for us as a senior or a younger driver and not a distraction. And also changes to the driving environment. From when we started driving, we can all look back at the roads. We drove as a 16 or 17-year-old, and now the roads in your own town, or maybe driving up to Maine and Florida, the whole driving environment poses more challenges to everyone. But there's some special challenges for seniors that maybe some of the younger drivers don't have.
And I want to mention that membership with AARP is 50 and older, so when we're talking about older, it's 50 and older. You don't have to be 50 and older to become a member, but Brett and I both want to say, also, if you're a member of AARP, we're 600,000 strong right here in the state of Connecticut. We want to thank you for that, and also want to just give you a website. If you'd like to know about the driver safety program, we'll put it on the screen as well, but aarp.org/drive. You can also call 1-800-687-2277. And Brent, there also is, what I love about this program, there can be a discount on their auto insurance policy.
Yes, there can be.
For taking the course.
For taking the course, either the online or the in-class. Connecticut is what they call a mandated state. So if you're age 60 or over, Connecticut law requires any insurance company licensed in the state to give you a discount. Okay, so that's an added benefit.
Yeah.
Which we wish people to have, but the real reason for taking the course beside the discount is because the course saves lives, and that's what it's all about.
Yes.
So I would encourage anyone, whether you're 25, 55, 65, take the course, because the course will save lives. If you happen to be a little bit older than some of your neighbors, then you may get the discount, which is an added bonus, but it can save lives.
And I think you have to be 60 or older to get the discount.
To get the discount in Connecticut. Some states are different, so if you live out in another state, then you should check that, because it's
Right, it could vary.
It can vary by state, and ages may vary, but that's the Connecticut program.
And you talked about safety, and that can be true for any age person
Yeah.
driving, which leads me into another one of the AARP programs. We're going to show you a tape on this, so stay tuned for that. But Brett, I'm going to have you set it up. It has to deal with being comfortable in our cars,
Yes,
and having
that's
our
correct.
cars, how they are adjusted to make us safer. And you just had an experience where you did a program. It's called Car Fit,
Yes.
by the way. Let me just show this right here. Here it is, making you more comfortable in your car. I didn't. You know, a year or so ago, I didn't even know it existed. It's been a couple of years now.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
We did the pilot here in Connecticut
Cool.
back in 2005, and we've developed the course, getting more and more involved with it each year. It's a great program. It's a joint program between AARP, AAA, and the American Occupational Therapist Association. So we have a great relationship in Connecticut with those two organizations to bring CarFit to our residents in Connecticut. And again, there's no age limit on
Right.
that. We've had people in their 20s there. We've
Well, you had a woman just
yes,
recently.
Saturday, I would guess she was 25 or 26 years old, and her parents were there, and they asked her to come. I'll put it polite. They asked her to come through it also. So the requirements to fit comfortably and safely in your car, it makes no difference your age. Again, whether you're 15 or 16 just learning to drive, or if you're a 98-year-old driver, you still need to fit and be comfortable in your car. And it's really a great program.
It is, and you're going to see how great it is. So right now, we're going to show you some video on exactly how the Car Fit program works. So take a look. We'll come back and talk more about it.
Did you know that there are features of your car you can adjust to make it more comfortable and safer for you to drive? It's true. As we age, natural changes occur with our vision, flexibility, and speed of reflexes that can impact our driving, making it even more important that our cars fit us. And that's why CarFit could be a good fit for you. Developed by AAA, AARP, and the American Occupational Therapy Association, AOTA, CarFit is an educational program that promotes safe driving and mobility among older drivers. At CarFit events, trained volunteers, including occupational therapists, help drivers measure how they fit in their vehicle and offer suggestions to improve drivers' comfort, safety, and fit. Small changes like adjusting your steering wheel to ensure a clear view of the road and checking your mirrors to reduce or even eliminate blind spots are just a few of the critical checks that you can learn at a CarFit event. Best of all, it's a free, quick checkup that only takes about 20 minutes. Join us, find an event, or volunteer to help drivers in your community. Visit www.car-fit.org. See you soon.
So Brett, that was so interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It also looks fun too. And you know what? I've heard people say coming out of the program that they're like, "Don't touch my car. Don't touch my
exactly
my
right.
my rear view mirror. Don't touch my steering wheel. Don't touch my seat." So do you hear that from people that take the
Yes,
program?
we do, and we make sure we let people know. And in some cases, there are multiple drivers of cars that what we do for you may not work for a friend, a neighbor,
Right.
a relative, a spouse. that's driving in the car. So it's individually based, because everyone's different and everyone has different type of vehicles. But it is a program, and it's getting more and more popular. We had one last Saturday. We had great attendance there, and we're looking forward to doing 2 more this fall when we crank up the program for our fall classes.
And you know, as you watch the program, if you're looking from year to year, season to season for the CarFit program, we also have a website for that.
Yes.
Just want to mention it. www.car-fit.org. That's www.car-fit.org. You know, we keep talking about our programs with AARP, driver safety, are good for any age. This one for sure, and I'm so excited
Yes, it
about
is.
this.
Yes.
Coming up, the smart car, the
Smart Driver Tech.
Smart Driver Tech. So, sort of on the cutting edge.
Yes.
So tell our viewer a little bit what to expect with that.
Yeah, well, we'll be rolling out our Smart Driver Tech class nationally and, of course, here in Connecticut. And that came about because of the increasing demand or questions in our Smart Driver class about technology in the newer vehicles. And as we know, it's just coming very, very
Like what?
rapidly.
What kinds of things would be
Well,
new?
the things like backup cameras, blind spot warning systems, lane departure systems, automatic braking systems, and they can be difficult to understand and maybe operate. And our concern is, from a safety, is to make sure individuals know how to integrate that technology in their everyday driving, so it becomes a benefit and not a distraction.
Right.
And we had many classes where people say, "Well, I wish somebody could teach me about this." So we're developing the class areas that we've piloted and have been tremendously successful. We've had a waiting list for people
Cool.
to get on, because it can be a challenge when you get a brand new car. And maybe your old car was 15 or 20 years old and you didn't have all this technology
Right.
to learn it and make sure you know how to operate it before you get on the road and find out that you know, it's making or becoming a distraction for you. So we're really looking forward to bringing that to Connecticut drivers. Again, not just for seniors. I
Right.
think it could be a benefit for anyone getting a car with a lot of technology that maybe they're haven't been exposed to before.
And that program is so much about safety.
Yeah, it is.
There is no
That's-
question
yeah.
about it. And then the best website for that, well, if you want any of the things that we're talking
Yeah.
about would be the arp.org/auto/driver-safety.
Yes, we
It's a
can.
lot, but
You can
we'll
get.
put it on the screen.
You
for
can get links to all that information through the AARP websites, and we're
Right.
glad that they can do that. Information on course locators for classroom courses, how to do the online course, how to become a volunteer for
Right,
any of
we
the
can talk about that,
AARP
yeah.
programs. You
Yeah.
already mentioned that,
Yeah.
which is nice. And then our smart, eventually our Smart Driver Tech.
And you know, if you do want to volunteer with the AARP Connecticut Driver Safety Program, Brent Ville's with us today. He is our statewide volunteer coordinator, and he came up through the ranks,
Yes, I did,
presenting
yeah.
and teaching in the classroom, and now coordinating the volunteers in the state. You could also contact me directly.
Sure,
I will
yeah.
connect you with Brent and
That's
his
right.
team. And again, I can be reached at 860-548-3169. We'll put my email address on the screen as well. Brett, I've saved towards the second half of our program a subject as another part of what
Yeah.
AARP, the driver safety program, offers. Towards the end, it's one of the more emotional programs,
Yes,
if I
it
may
is.
say. You know, we started the program today saying we do have a relationship with our cars, and independence and mobility are so much part of that. But let's face facts, we all are aging,
Yeah.
and things do change. It could be our hearing, it could be our vision, it could be our flexibility, our reaction time. So there might be a point in your family where somebody is driving, and maybe it's time to just review the status of that
Yes.
situation. And that program is called We Need to Talk. So again, an emotional, a
It
sensitive
is.
topic, so
It's very,
tell our viewer about that.
and we address this on a limited basis in our Smart Driver course, but this is really designed to address that problem. We're all going to have to stop driving eventually. Our goal is to hopefully make people aware of the challenges, either the driver or family members, so they do it voluntarily, and it's not done, unfortunately, as a result of an accident or worse. So we developed a We Need to Talk course. It's a 90-minute seminar. It's designed for the adult children or caregivers of senior drivers, okay? And that is designed to teach folks how to have a conversation, which can be an very emotional thing to do, and also the warning signs of unsafe driving. So we're looking at teaching people the warning signs of unsafe driving. So,
Like?
Well, for example, some of the biggest warning sign, and we do this at the end of our car fit program, is you look at a vehicle, scrapes or dents on a car. That's something occupational therapists talk to people about in the car fit program.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It can be inappropriate behavior, driving through stop signs, red lights,
On
things
curbs,
like
maybe
that.
hitting
Curbs, that's one of the warning signs, is hitting the curb on a right-hand turn to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to teach folks to recognize the signs and then have a conversation with the person early enough before you're having the conversation in a hospital or worse, to have that conversation. And it may be something simple as reducing driving. The biggest thing we find, and most people, this is called self-regulation when you talk about it in the class, a lot of individuals don't drive at night anymore. They may not know exactly why, but they know it's tough out there at night. It may be reducing driving on an interstate into local roads. And then at a point where maybe it's just because of medical conditions, aging, it's no longer safe for a person to drive.
But the program could still, tell me if I'm correct about this, does not necessarily mean, depending on the circumstances, total elimination of driving.
No, it's
So
it's
how
not.
would one respond to that? My parents still would like to drive.
Sure.
But how do we change that scenario?
Sure, and there's a lot, and we go over that in the class. There's organizations, for example, individuals, they do it at the AAA office in West Hartford, where you drive with someone who's trained to evaluate senior drivers and then make recommendations. It may be adaptive equipment for some people. It may be reducing night driving, reducing driving on the interstate, or other recommendations so a person can still drive, okay? And have that independence, even if it's going like the gentleman I talked to said,
grocery store down the street, yeah.
going to the Dunkin' Donuts
Right,
with their
right,
friends and
right.
having a cup of coffee.
In the daytime,
In the
maybe, as opposed to
daytime,
night,
yeah,
yeah.
and it's 3 miles down the road,
Right.
and they've lived in the community all their lives, so they're very familiar with it. Because as we said, independence is a key factor, and also being able to socialize and not being
Sure.
trapped in your house, even if you have a person who's willing to drive you anywhere you want to go, any time of day. I
Right.
don't know how many people I've said
Flexibility, yeah. Go out for a meal.
yeah,
or-
that's, they want to
Yeah,
be
the
able
barber,
to do it
get your
themselves.
hair done, or
Get your
whatever
hair
it is,
done,
yeah,
whatever's
yeah.
meaningful
Yeah.
to an individual. So
Yeah.
it's a good program, and it doesn't necessarily mean the end of driving. It's to make recommendations or to see when problems are starting before they get into a situation, and
Right.
where you see once in a while in the paper someone hits the gas instead of the brake.
Yeah,
and
we've all
does-
heard of those.
and that's what we're trying
Yeah.
to avoid, those types
Prevention.
of situations where someone goes out and injures people, and they certainly don't intend to, but
Right.
because
Right.
that can be a devastating.
So Brent, if a family member is watching right now
Yeah.
and they want to know more about the We Need to Talk program, what would be the best website or place for them to go?
Again, the AARP website, you can
Okay.
actually get a link there, and the seminar is on the website. You can go
Okay.
through each step of
Oh, fine. So that's-
seminar.
That
Yes,
is
so
arp.org
Yeah.
/drive.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do that and find the link and go through it on your own. to get the tips that we need
Yeah.
to talk about, because it's a very
No, critical
difficult
program.
subject.
I'm so proud that
Yeah.
AARP is doing that. Not much time left,
Yeah.
but if you're enticed to become a volunteer listening
Yeah.
to the program, we always love that. Brent, what's the best way for them to find out about volunteerism again?
Well, again, if you go to the AAR website, there's a link there for volunteering for
Yes.
anyone, and there's an online application. All of our applications now will take recommendations from anyone. The application is done online.
Right.
It goes to national, gets put in the computer database, and then I get information almost instantaneously that so-and-so at such a location would like to volunteer for driver safety. You can volunteer for any of the AARP programs.
I like
Tax
you,
Safe.
you just gave me my little pitch there as we get close to ending the
Okay,
show. So,
yeah.
so many different programs to go
Yeah.
to, but again, AARP.org/drive.
Yeah.
You can find out about our programs. You can also call me directly.
Sure.
I'm Elaine Werner. I'm on staff with the AARP Nonprofit Office, and that number again, 860-548-3169. We so enjoy coming into your local community. Hopefully you've got some good takeaways from our program today, being able to drive with safety as you age. And we hope that you will tune in again as we visit you repeated times in your local community with resources and takeaways to help you age with quality and dignity, and following our mission as always to empower you to choose how you age. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. If you're a member, thanks as well.